Oh crap, the mic was on the whole time. Ooh, ooh, that's a problem. Not really. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to listen to later because I already know. Anyway. Oh, I'm pretty sure I didn't say anything crazy. Or if I did, I'll find out later. Anyway. Hey everybody. Hello. Yeah, I got a haircut. What's about it? You know, don't worry about it. I'll cry about it later. Anyway. So today, you read the title. We're doing stuff in Procreate again because I got to get good at this art program and not be a scrub. But I will show you one thing that I was working on last night that is bound to change a lot. This is a character's mom that I'm working on. I don't like the head shape. I'm just gonna erase that right now. Yeah, this was a little thing that I've been working on. I've been watching Generator Rex like for the last week, honestly. I just got to season 3 last night, and I forgot how good season 3 was. Season 2 was pretty good, but season 3 is really where it's at because that's where it becomes a lot of good storytelling for me, at least. So because of that, you know, I really having fun watching it again because yeah, why not? So yeah. What else did I do? I said something else. I forgot what else I said. But anyway, I'm gonna fix this head. Before we actually get into the thing that's in the thumbnail, let me actually fix this head real quick. I spent like the entirety of last week doing stuff that like helps me become better, and I completely forgot how to do some of these things. This is what happens when you... My God. This is what happens when you just don't know how to do stuff anymore. And hopefully the sun doesn't heat up the room like it is doing now. Because if it does, I'm gonna cry. But you might think it's a sweat, but whatever. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. All right. Oh, more notifications. Woo. Anyway. I think I got it. There's so many curves to the face that are just what are the word? What's the word? They are so minuscule and yet they are so immaculate that if you miss one, the curve just becomes bad. Like the curve of the chin, which I was good at like last week. And then Monday happened. What happened Monday, I can't really tell you yet. It's a business thing. Oh boy. I spent all the week like making stuff and it kills me. It truly does disappoint, but also when you see something coming from a mile away and you're surprised that it hit you in the face, should you actually be surprised? It's okay. I actually might need to buy a stream deck in the future. I'm tired of adjusting these levels like this with my mouse. But what can I do when OBS is free and so much of the stuff I do is free? I can't really complain. Anyway. I actually like this. I said that last night about the other hand that I drew, and then I didn't like it, so you see where I'm at right now. Oh yeah, I gotta flip this. We'll do that later. Alright, that head is going to get on my nerves. Let's do something else. Whew, okay. Clear out notifications. Turn that brightness up. And, what shall we do? This right here. So, I did this little sketch a while ago. I did this sketch last September. Actually, a little bit after my birthday. Woo. So, because of that, I was able to adjust that. There we go. I was able to just keep it in my sketchbook, and then this past Sunday, I actually, in order to get a little bit of art therapy, I went ahead and did just a little bit of that painting. And once I got around to actually working on it, I actually really liked it. So I ended up, working on it, and I scanned it and threw it into Procreate and all that good stuff. And I added some colors already to it, as you can see. This is a sketch of a bust, or a sculpture, same thing. A sculpture by Forrest Rogers. And I looked at their work, and their work was extremely cool. Like, ridiculous. They do a lot of sea creatures and sea monster stuff, and I just have no idea how to describe it. So go look it up, because I found this picture on Twitter, and this picture doesn't do, well, this isn't the picture, but it doesn't do it as much justice as it should, but, whatever. I liked it. So now, a part of the color challenge, the 3 main colors that we're going to be using are red, green, and orange. Why? Because we used the opposite palette last week. Well, you can see that in the thumbnail. So that's what it ended up doing. That's what it ended up working for. I can't talk. I just want to paint. So yeah. So I got colors done already. I got these colors that I really liked. I got the background sketched out. And let's go ahead and clean up some of the lines if I need to. Let's do a dark red this time for the switch to the stabilized pencil because I can't get over how stabilized the pencil is because it's fun to use. Also, sometimes you just have to keep a flat round brush just around, because sometimes all the fancy brushes, they just don't. The fancy brushes, as fancy as they are, don't do enough of the work that they should be compared to how much you actually would pay for them. But anyway, I digress. I don't think I meant to actually leave this corner open like that. Glad I did, though. It makes this line work a little easier. Also, I just watched season 4, episode 4 of The Boys. It just came out today at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so not necessarily just came out, but I really enjoyed it. A lot of revelations are starting to happen, and a couple of things happened that I thought were going to happen, you know, in the next 2 episodes. We're in episode 4 now, and I think this season count is supposed to be 8, maybe 9, maybe 10. But wow. It's just so cool to see how superhero shows where the characters are mostly invincible / still bags of meat, kind of like don't die all the time. Or it's also funny how instead of just using their powers for stuff, they just decide to not use the powers and they do this thing instead of that thing. It's just weird. I don't know. I have no idea how to explain it. It's like wow. Basically, Homelander is God in the show, yet he doesn't have to prove it. Yet also, he can still be taken down because he's just as much a man as, you know, Huey. Yeah, so Huey, he's actually a good normal character. He's neurotic though. But that's funny. I just really like those types of pieces of storytelling. The Boys is such a unique show in regards to that, and I truly appreciate it. It's fun. But still, they didn't have to do certain characters the way they did in just episode 4. Just episode 4. It kind of hurt it. It really hurt it though. Hurt it a real lot. Also, Huey looks a lot like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I can't get over that. And It's gonna be in my head for the rest of the season, and because of that, um, Huey is now named Spider-Man, and that's a spoiler for episode 4. There you go. I'm using dark red. I want to see how it comes out. Okay. I took that off. I wanted to check what the line work would look like if I took the main sketch away. I should pull up the original picture to add some more detail, but I kind of had... I hate that my gouache paint, when I originally painted this, actually over... Wow. It got super dark in here. The one time I want the sun to actually be out for a couple of seconds, but whatever. Anyway, my original sketch, when I painted over it with the blue gouache, it kind of completely just took all the detail out, and luckily I took a picture of the picture before it before I painted over everything, and because of that I was able to actually capture a little bit more detail on the original from this original sketch. So basically the moral of that little story is take a picture of your artwork before you start painting over something, especially if you paint, because you never know when you might need a picture of the picture you're drawing. And luckily I did that, because I took that same picture, scanned it, and boom. I took that same picture into Photoshop and then put it into this document here, which you see that I'm drawing on. That's what I meant by scan. I took the picture of it already. Actually, I'll leave the lines here on the lips, and I'll just fill it in like that. A little bit of hatching, nothing crazy. And let's get back down here. Let's see. The funny thing is about this original sketch is that since I had, I started using a lot of my sketches. Well, I started doing a lot of my sketches with red pencil instead of, regular graphite, which was gray. Anyway, because of that, I just decided to keep it like this, and the red pencils actually give me a lot more detail whenever I sketch than just the regular graphites. Not to say that you should just replace all of your stuff with red pencils, but it's always cool to use different colored. It's lead, but I think that the carmine pencils that I use are actually a little different, but I'm not sure. I really enjoyed it though, and because of that, it made the sketch turn out a lot better. I'm kind of mad that I didn't keep the red sketch here, but the way that I have to scan documents in Photoshop to make them compatible with Procreate so I can draw them, it requires me to make a gray scale, which basically just makes me take all the color out, which I don't like doing, but whatever. It's like, it's inconvenient, but at the same time, I am making this to be colored later and painted over anyway, so it's okay. But also, I really wanted to show you, but it's okay. Also, going over the sketch like this allows me to add some extra things. So, woo. I really don't want to do the horn. These aren't horns. These are antlers, I think. Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's get to the face first. Because part of me hates that I had to paint over when I did this traditionally, because I missed out on painting the eyes properly. But I kind of knew that I was going to do this, so it's just, didn't matter too much. I was all right with it. Add a little bit of hatching here. There weren't really any eyebrows, but because this is a humanoid, I want to do a little bit of the semblance of eyebrow. I'll say that I'll give this character the pronouns basically. This character has, where her ears are, there are gills here. I was about to say there were conch shells or something like that, but they're actually gills, which is cool. Like that. these horns didn't go over the bad. They weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. I like that. So yeah. Luckily, I attribute all of this success here to this brush that I made, because I know for a fact that I was not going to be able to do this properly without this brush. I'll definitely have to add this to the brush pack when I make that video that I'm definitely trying to make, but you know, I'll get to it when I get to it, apparently. Whatever. Also, I might make another texture for the, let me make sure I'm right on the right layer, yeah. I might make another texture for the skin once I actually get down to painting the skin, or at least painting over it. Because right now, this is one solid red color that I just threw together, kind of. And then I mixed the background with some orange and green, so. I don't want to do like I did I don't want to do it like I did with the traditional piece, and just use one color for the actual character, but I want to. I did, and if you look at the thumbnail, it actually looks good. I pushed everything out, and yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. I think it is time to use a gouache brush. I think. I don't know, maybe. I think the gouache brush is probably one of the best smudging brushes that you can get pre-installed with Procreate, and I don't have enough words to count how many times that works. How many times the gouache brush for smudging has saved my booty. Simple as that. It's fun. It's fun to use. It's weird to use, but once you use the brush and then smudge, it's kind of ridiculous. Trying an extra thing that in my head I'm trying something else, but now we're just adding some preliminary details because I don't want to keep this sketch. It makes everything too dark, even with all the modifications that I did. Like it's just extremely dark, especially, and then this is normal. But I'm thinking about another thing. Color this in a little bit. Alright, let's switch back. I love the studio pen a lot, but I like this one much better. I might change the line work color up a little later. One mistake that I don't want to do too much of is not making certain parts of the line work thicker. Just adding some of the smallest pieces of detail for no reason, because headache, basically. I don't know. Okay. This has been happening a lot. I think I may need to update Procreate or something, but there's always a giant line that goes through, like every other few minutes, there's always a giant line that goes through everything. And by the time I get to seeing it, I can't undo it. If I undo it, I undo too much. It kills me. All right, better. Kind of. I need to get back on this neck. There we go. Much better. Let's see. Let us see right here. I want to add some extra. Onto the gills that I am inevitably going to mess up because I don't draw gills enough. So we'll find out how to do that. That was stupid. I'm sorry about that. That was stupid. definitely gonna have to try out the watercolor brushes on the background again, because they work very, very nicely, but I just don't use them enough. I paid $25 for. I paid $30 for this brush pack. Don't use it enough, or at least don't use it as enough as I thought I was going to. Was I disappointed with my purchase? No, not at all. I just need to use them more, because idiot, honestly. But also not really, not necessarily idiot. I can't say that. It's more of I've been playing around with a lot of my own brushes, and by the time I get down to making my own brush and actually using it, I have an idea to use the brush and have another idea for an illustration. Then 2 weeks go by and I finally finish the illustration, and so on and so on and so forth. Alright, let's cheat and smudge. Even though smudging is really cheating, it's just... I like smudging a lot more than I do painting. Like, I'll put a giant blob down in an area and then I'll just start smudging around it. And then adding on some more. And then just doing what I want here. And it just works. Because, funny. Alright. Alright, let's make some texture here real quick. No. Actually, let's use my scatter brush. Actually do that like that. See how that works, you know? See if that actually makes a difference. What if it actually kind of is. Interesting. I did these textures to try to give it a little bit of 3D plane, because of the fact that this was actually a sculpture, not a statue, a sculpture. But I'm pretty sure those words are interchangeable here. And it actually it came out very well. And again, I think that's one of the big benefits of using the Carmine red pencils that I use usually, that I have been using almost 3 years now. But I liked it, how it all came out. my mother just walked in, and yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now, and I just really don't want to, but whatever. So yeah. Every time she comes over, she wants to play with the cats, and always play with the cats, and is always surprised that nobody wants to play, except the one that she actually likes. My mother kills me sometimes. It's okay. But yeah, that's fun. She really wants to adopt one, but I'm like, you don't have room at the house to adopt one. But it's okay. I will let her continue to think this fantasy for another few months because I die. It's okay. This new breed of cats that has been birthed is just I don't like them. I think because they don't like me, but then also they want my food. So George R.R. Martin said it best in, I think it was the third book of the Game of Thrones series, the Song of Ice and Fire series that I completely forgot. I think it was A Sword of Storms, but A Storm of Swords, that's what it's called. I think that was what it was. But anyway, there's a character in the book who talks about cats, and I think I've said this before. But basically, he talks about how deceptive and manipulative cats are in order to get their way. And I'm just like, yeah, that's about right. That makes sense for humans to like cats to do stuff like that. But then I'm like, this character also doesn't like cats in the book, so it makes perfect sense as to why he would say something like that. That line resonated with me, along with a couple of others that I can't talk about just yet. I need to go reread those books. That's basically the conclusion I've drawn here. Such a good book series. George needs to finish it, you know. He needs to finish that magnum opus and change up his writing style and stop picking stuff out of the garden and just make stuff stick. But, you know, you can't rush a creator like that, especially when the creation is worth billions of dollars at this point and is also owned by a corporation who doesn't really want to do anything for it. I'm talking too much, I think, but also, whatever. It's okay. I could say the same thing about myself because I literally stopped writing and have been partially procrastinating about certain pieces of writing for the past all of June. But also, it's I don't know anymore. It's fun. I think I'm done with the detail here, or at least almost done. I'm not too sure. I tend to do this circle method of shading. I think it's called scribbling. But this is probably one of the funnest ways to build up texture on anything, especially if you have one brush that has one line weight. It's probably one of the best ways to actually make texture, or at least build it up. And I do it a lot. I think in digital art, because you have texture brushes, it's not as effective. But when you have a pencil that has varying pieces of lead on it, so you have like you'll have like a flatter side on this side and more of a chiseled side at the top and stuff like that. Changing up your grip like this, it actually really works. It's weird, but it works a lot more. Also, now that I realize, I think I'm wearing the same shirt from last stream. Don't read into that, but you know, it's funny. I find that funny because I just noticed that today. So yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I want to say that we're almost done with this. I'll just add shadows and do some extra stuff in the thing. But I think I got it. Let's see. The sun just came out. Too dark, obviously. Yeah, 125th is perfectly fine. Okay. Oh yeah, I could have messed with the opacity and just made this bigger. Big head. The scattering brush that I made in Procreate is probably one of my favorite ones, so it'll be heavily featured in the Procreate video when I get down to making it. I say that in my head so I can manifest the will to actually make the video, but yeah, I want to have that video like before July, but you know, I got 2 concerts to work on next week. The productivity from May is carrying into June, which will most likely carry into the entirety of the summer. But man, oh man, when I tell you I don't want to do anything at all, it's okay. I'll get through it. A little bit more texture on this back horn, antler, horn. This back protrusion, horn, antler. I am glad that the breeze finally came through in the backyard. I think after about 2 o'clock when the sun just goes over my house, goes over the backyard, I should say, because it's still over the house now. I can literally see the shadow moving right now. It's going just like the Energizer Bunny. But anyway, when it's like that, I think there's enough breeze that comes into the back that actually cools down the entire back area, which is great. Let's see. Just want to do a couple of more small things that I keep saying that I am going to stop doing, but I can always end up working on stuff. Brush actually works nice as a shadow, as a little bit of a texture to shadow brush too, which is cool. I didn't notice that. Came off the lines. Let's go back. I'm not too picky about certain things going past the lines anymore. It lends to a bit of the naturalness, the natural nature of having some of these. I've always appreciated that about a lot of artists who just let their lines hang, or most importantly, they'll let everything just be messy. And I'm trying to do that a little bit more, but it just like, it's just, I think the past 2 years have allowed me to be just a little bit more delicate with that. I think that's what I want to say, but you know. I think that's the thing that I appreciate about Alex Ross and all of his work that he does. Like even his sketches are certain, are of a certain quality that I'm just like, yeah, I want to get to that. But also he leaves so many things messy, and it's just cool. I always learn to respect his artwork because it was great, and also because of the zeitgeist that his artwork captures. Like, it's just so good. one of my very particular art parents, right next to Bruce Timm and Frank Frazetta. Speaking of which, I need to buy an art book from Frank Frazetta. Buy a Frank Frazetta art book because he is dead now. Can't buy it from him technically. I cry. Let's see. All right. All right, I want to keep this. I want to keep some of this sketch here. I actually really want to. So what I'm going to do, smudge off, because this is this line here is right from the board that I took a picture of. Well, took this picture of because I put it on the board when I was done with it and everything. So now cleared it up. Some of the texturing is still there, which is good. This is, very good actually. Oh yeah, the birds are out. You're gonna hear a lot of birds if you haven't already heard them. One thing I do love about being right next door to a forest, but also the same reason why I like being next door to the forest is the exact reason why I don't like being next door to the forest. Sometimes the forest can be just as annoying as the people, which is fun. But also bugs. A lot of bugs. Sometimes the occasional giant ant that I took a picture of that has a fur back. I don't know what I saw this morning, but that thing had fur on. It had a mane of red fur on its back, and I'm like, that ant is too big to be an ant. Why does that thing walk this earth? But whatever. I was very frightened, as you can hear. But it's okay. I'm just gonna let you listen to the bird noises as I contemplate living over in this area within. It crawled in the wall actually. It stayed in between the bricks on the outside of the wall, so it's still among us, which is very sussy if I do say so myself. But yeah, I'm just gonna let you think about that. So now, let's see. I got two greens, one orange. Let's go to the smudge pack. This, yeah. So, of the Max Pack brushes that I bought, the Max U watercolor heavy, smudge heavy bloom brush is probably my favorite, just because of how crazy it looks here. This is like one of the main aesthetics that I wanted to use while I was making, just like all of my illustrations for Mermaid. It's probably one of the main things that I wanted to use, and I had no idea how to make this aesthetic, but I didn't realize it until, you know, I got to playing around with these brushes, because it's a cool background to make, honestly. And let's see, I'm pretty sure there is a, it's not, no, wait, it's at the bottom. Look at all these brushes that you get. All these brushes, these are actual brushes that you are recommended to use the brush settings for. And then you got the smudges, which you shouldn't be using as brushes. Then you got erasers. You get all of this for $30, plus textured backgrounds, a textured watercolor for hard press and cold press watercolor paper backgrounds. I don't even want to go into that and how cool that actually is. But anyway, let me do flat. I like the flat brushes for I like the flat brushes that you use for the actual watercolor. They're really cool, and they are just very unpredictable to do. Same layer. It's weird. It's weird because they have a certain degree of being able to be picked up, which is funny. The brushes have a very particular unpredictability with them, and it's so weird. These brushes are weird. That's my like one word. That's my one word review for these brushes. They are weird, and I love it so much. It's interesting. But anyway. And like I said earlier, this is probably one of the main reasons why I like using the smudge brush. And when you get dedicated brushes in Procreate, whether or not you buy them or not, when you get those dedicated brushes in Procreate that actually like smudge very good, like smudge great and smudge good, smudge do good, it's really cool. Like right now, I'm just literally just making a background from the main colors that I selected. Ooh. Okay, found my new favorite. Detail opaque, and then detail. Ooh. Interesting. So why is this darker? Interesting. I found two favorites. I like it. I like them. They're weird, but they're weird. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not even gonna question how some of these look like this, but it's great. Now let's try out another, because some of these I don't use at all. But the background is coming in to its own, and I like that. now while we are here. The one thing I do like about using, so of my 3-color challenge, I actually prefer to use purple, blue, and yellow, just because there's so many cools that you can do when it comes to cool colors. These 3 are the hottest colors, in all honesty, that you can use. However, because you have to do, you know, studies of color temperature and stuff like that, of the 3 colors that we have, green, orange, and red, which color do you think is the coldest color? I know I can't hear you. Anyway, it is green. So messing with green is probably one thing that I hate the most about this color challenge, because I just don't work well with green. I prefer purple. But this whole thing is supposed to be me getting outside my comfort zone anyway, so it's fun. So what I just thought of, that ran aside, the thing that I just thought of was adding red over here. That's why I wanted to say that. Screenshot. So there we go. Let's add some red. Part of me wants to use green shadows, but I'm not going to do that. Switch it back to heavy bloom. Heavy bloom gives it, let me actually take this way. Heavy bloom gives it that little illusion of splatter, but also what's the word? It gives you that tree line, that tree texture look as well. Like, Bob Ross is probably one of the best people to have ever lived in the art community when it comes to making trees. Like, you just go down and then that way, and then boom, a mountain, and then you go tap 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 tap, a tree line, boom. Bob Ross just made such good stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. It's awesome. I'm just thinking about how I could achieve that look in my head here, even though, you know, there aren't really trees underwater, even though there are trees underwater. I'm just thinking about how to do it like that. It's also, some of these colors are going to be darkened and muted once I get to the shadow area. So I have to think about that as well. And the scattering area where I added the shadows, well, kind of shadows, but not really shadows, but kind of shadows, that area was pretty good. I'm glad I did it like that. And Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna dip some red right over here. Should I have done that? No, I shouldn't have done that at all. Don't do that, kids. But cool thing about smudging, you can just correct that mistake here without having to erase. Again, a thing that I have to keep in my head because of my Fishman courses in Photoshop. Don't destroy, aka erase, when you can just draw over or paint over. Boom. That's a nice little landscape, actually. I can take all of this and just do a landscape. Alright, back to it. Let's see. 1 and 2. Much better. I feel like that's a little oversaturated. But I don't care. I have reached the layer limit in this program. I only have 8 layers open. This makes me cry. I actually should look at the, man. The file size is too big. I just realized that. The file size is too big in Procreate. If the file size in Procreate is too big, for anybody who doesn't know, it's, Procreate will limit your ability to make more layers. Ooh, that's not it. No. Stop playing, come on. Canvas information. But this is an 800 gigabyte file size. At least I'm recording in 4K. Maximum layers 8. Oh boy, 72 DPI, and the pixel height is ridiculous. Man, this is ridiculous. Okay, whatever. All right. Luckily, all we need. So let me. All right. The background layer. Get rid of that. Luckily, we only needed about 5 anyway. We'll live. Cool. All right. Let us do this thing. I don't know why I did that. Turn that down. And let's do some stanky stuff. This one didn't have as much of an ugly phase as the other ones did, and I am very grateful for that. wondering where the light source is going to be at now. Like just about every time I get to the light source, I always change it about 5 times in the worst way possible. And then the pen is too big sometimes. This is definitely purple, but it looks blue, and that's gonna mess with my head for a little bit. My eyes are already hurting. And the pen is not too big, and then it's big enough, and then next thing you know, you're making something ridiculous on the stream, and you're just like, how did I get here? Questioning your life again. I cry. Yoink, yoink. Ah, crap. Wrong direction. There you go. It is currently 2:47, and I am ready to throw this table. Why am I ready to throw the table? I have no patience anymore for a lot of stuff. Anxiety has gotten to me in the worst way possible, especially this week. And part of me is like, you just need to wait another week, and everything else is saying that you just need to wait another week. I am not saying that. I'm saying I need to get stuff done now. But you know, I just don't even know anymore. I want to leave that. I want to leave this open, but I can't. Let's see. There we go. There's going to be some rim lighting over here in a little bit once I get to it. I will set it up now, actually. Right. Trying to make this a little bit curvy, but also doesn't really work that much if you can't see it that well. It looked good in my head, so But also, oh wait, now I realize I could have did it like that. Okay, cool. I'll see once I get to darkening everything if it doesn't come out right. Let's see. Light source coming this way. With the light source coming this way, I might be able to actually, I might be able to do something with that. I'm just finding where the shadows are. Now we can get to smudging just a little bit. Best part about smudging on the shadows is that it makes the shadows look just a little bit more faded and natural, which is the correct phrase that I wanted to say for the first time. So woo. But if you soften the edges of the shadows, it makes it look just a little bit softer. Makes it just look a little bit more natural. My favorite go-to brush is my gouache brushes. Just these two right here. Usually the small one. And majority of the time, fade these out because I think this one right here is good. This here is good. But these areas here are going to be in darkness, or at least a little bit darkness. Some of these are going to be in light. So I might have to come back and correct some of these, but I hope I don't have to. It's funny painting water or trying to replicate something that's in water when you don't have the color blue. So you have to adjust, which is a little funny to me. But I'm gonna actually end up doing something else. fix the rim lighting in a little bit. Crap, that is not what I want. Okay, let's bring this down. All right, now we are just at this point we are just smudging and moving pigment around, because that's honestly what I do when I'm painting traditionally anyway. Like at this point I don't even paint anymore. I just add on to stuff that's already here. I call this cheating, but you know, it's not really cheating. It's just utilizing all your resources. So whatever. All right, cool. Had to go ahead and check on something real quick. Let's see. Push this here. If I can push this up here. Just push this down too. Right now, I'm just pushing everything around so that these light areas can be pushed away from the dark areas, or at least stand out. A little bit of shadow here, maybe a little bit of rim light too. I like how the color, again, this purple looks a lot like blue, but it looks more purple when I smudge it out a little bit more. I don't know if the color is translating like that, but it's very funny to me. Part of me wants to add some more detail to the face, but I'll get to it when I get to it. The family is rustling around upstairs again. Oh boy. All right, a little bit more curve here, and I should be good. Yep, right here. Oh boy, we are coming to the not really final close, but we're getting there, kind of. I like it. Now, part of me wants to add. Let's do it. Let's do it now because I thought about it earlier. I don't know why I did this. It felt like it's just it would be a solid piece when it comes to the lighting, because you can actually see where it's separated now, and it captures the eye just a little bit more. I don't know. Thought about that earlier, and I didn't think about it again until now. But basically, adding some solid lines here and here, which I like, but I don't know why I forgot. Maybe because I don't know, something. This is why I can't teach anybody anything. I don't know how to word stuff. Words are hard. Yet I love writing stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Almost there, almost there. That just a little bit. All right, we are there. Now I am wondering if there's anything else that I've missed. But I think we're done for this particular portion. All right. Well, hold on. Before we do that, softening up just a couple of more edges before I call it out. Part of the neck is actually connected. Forgot about that. All right, I'm fairly confident I overdid it, but we got this. All right. I'll just have to mess with a couple more layers. Layers. Why did I say layers? I didn't mean to say layers. I meant to say pieces of thing and thing. I don't know. Thin out this, thin out that. All right. Now we're done. Okay, hold on. Let's do this while I'm thinking about it. I always like to give the thing a nice little border. Why? I don't know. It just makes it look arterly. What does arterly mean? I don't know. Bop. There we go. There we go. Now, let's get rid of the border. Let's go ahead and do the bop. Let's look what, oh, wow. That's super hard. Like that, that's cool. The beauty of blend modes. Always mess with the blend modes if you don't know what you want to do when it comes to coloring. Sometimes it can sometimes save your life. This actually looks a little bit like Hellboy for some funny reason. I don't know why that popped in my head. I like that. But this is only temporary. I can't keep this. This is not what we need. Okay, let's change it. Well, before we change it, let me send this to myself. Also, let's see how big this file size is too, now that I'm looking at it, because this is going to be fun. It's 35 megabytes. That is ridiculous. But whatever. It's usually worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't that, I can just do this. This is ridiculous. Back to it. Overlay is nice. Overlay is basically what we're looking for. And then you got all of these other ones. Typically I drop it. Oh wow, that's actually pretty good. I didn't even, what did I drop that down to? 46%, yeah. So, like I said in the last stream, I typically drop the I'll drop the opacity of the shadow layer to about 49, between 49 and, let's see, how does that look? Let's go down to 20. So 24, 20 looks good. You can see that it's there, you can tell. But as you go a little darker, as you creep on up, look good. Between 40 and 70%, that's really where you should keep your blend mode area. Yeah. Looks good though. Now I'm just adjusting this in my head. I want to, because sometimes I might keep it to 70. It's 70 is just transparent enough to see, but then 60 is just enough for you not to strain your eyes when looking. So when you look at it like that, maybe 50% is fine. Maybe 50% is where I need to keep it. So with that being said, and that out of the way, let's go back. Go back to, where's the brush pack? Right here. Do that. Let's add some area. Dark greens, dark greens, dark greens. I try not to use too many. I want to use you know, some of the flat colors so I can actually shade everything properly with like one layer. But because that helps a lot when you have to color code and color grade everything. But sometimes you can't really do that, and it's okay to not do that. Let's see. Let's go to the scattering brush. Scattering brush is great for sea creatures. It's like the original like model or stamp for the scattering brush that I use in Procreate is one of the default fire areas or fire brushes that come with Procreate. And if you do it right, as you see, it can look like seaweed, which is awesome. So that goes to show that no matter what brush you use, as long as you know what the texture looks like in your head, you can replicate it on any particular. Oh, come on, show up. You can replicate it on any painting or piece that you're working on. It's weird, but it's fun. There we go. Now, if I really wanted to be accurate with this, I would have all of these shaded and shadowed, but I'm not doing that. What I will do is have fun with this little area right here. What's my battery looking like? 43%. So I got the bright idea of adding some green accents to the actual skin color, and I'm glad I did it because I didn't realize that I needed that. So, yeah, I actually appreciated this. This is pretty fun. Also, it does help that the complements matched up with each other with the green and the red. So this made a lot more sense. Now, making some of the textures green to have everything matched up a little bit. I feel like I should have did that already, but it's okay. What I could do, lighten it up though. Because she is coming through this area of seaweed, it would make sense for her to have a little bit of it on her, even if it's not that much. It is 3:38 currently. I hope you're liking the, I think it's the cricket. I think it's crickets. I don't know. I don't know what is screaming outside, trying to get another set of food or something. I don't know. There's something outside that's just screaming. I think it's a cricket though. I don't know. I forgot what those animals are. exactly what they want you to do. Funny. Small hint of those right here on the face. This is what I was talking about trying to add some of the lost texture that I was missing in the traditional piece. Sometimes this is probably one of the only benefits that I can get from Procreate, and it's just this small little thing right here. It's always funny. Because it's on the same layers of the skin, I can just blend it right on in and add this small little piece right here. Signed in the wrong layer again. I cry. Much better. All right. Boom. I think that was, well, I think that constitutes as a successful thing, I think, possibly. I enjoyed this one. Very fun. Yeah. And one thing that I've actually been obsessed with, ironically, in Procreate, besides the art, is actually the numbers. And you saw me do it earlier. But just looking at the canvas information, looking at like how many strokes I made, how much time it took. I don't know how they actually calculate the time, but apparently the time is usually like correct, which is fun to me. I'll spend like 2 weeks drawing something in Procreate, but it'll only say I did like 20 hours worth of actual drawing, which is roughly like maybe 4 hours a day. No, it's not. Maybe 1 or 2 hours a day over the course of 2 weeks. Makes me laugh a lot. But overall, let's see. So the final little speed paint in Procreate is going to be like 4 minutes, which I'll just let this run. Very cool. I like this so much. I think the longest I spent on a Procreate drawing that I was able to actually pay attention to and look at, it was only about, what was it? It was about 40 hours maybe. I think it was one of the Elden Ring pieces, and it was because I kept drawing and adding stuff in and taking away stuff and not being satisfied with what I had, which, you know, makes sense. Overall, there wasn't really much that I felt that I needed to add to the piece. I just had to make it better and improve upon what I already had put down, because the original sculpture is still like super beautiful, and I highly implore you to look up Forrest Rogers sculptures, because this is probably one of the first ones that you'll actually see when it pops up. And yeah, after looking at this one and looking at his website or her website, I'm not sure who they are. I liked a lot of their work, and it was awesome. So yeah, I really just felt like I should have drawn them another one. There is a front portion. There's a front picture of this drawing as well. I need to go find it because I do want to draw it. Like, I want to draw so many of their sculptures because they just look so good. They look so detailed, yet because it is a sculpture, you want to keep certain parts of it clear. You want to keep them simple and smoothed out, which, when it comes to sculpting, like, that's something that you really want to do, because if you don't do it, it's going to mess you over in the long run. But I don't know. I want to get back into sculpture too, so I think that's a reason why I did this. Sculpting is fun, but you know, it breaks your hands, which I don't want to do any of that anymore. I spent like 10 years of my life sculpting and making stuff in 3D, and you know, I think I haven't spent enough time doing this stuff in 2D. So it's weird. I don't know why I said that. But looking at all this, I just really appreciate how so much of this turned out. Yeah, the family got rowdy. I'm gonna have to run up there and get my belt. But what I was going to say about the shadows, I really like how the shadows turned out. I like how I laid most of them out. The only ones that I would say that I want to go back and just redo is like some of this area, but I wasn't too sure how I wanted to do it in the first place anyway. But just going over it and getting over the fear of figuring it out, I really appreciated that. And as we close down to like the last couple of seconds of the speed paint, I want to thank you all for watching, taking some time to tune into the stream and just, you know, be here in this little not really safe space, because I will torture you if you let me. So yeah, just be here with me, listening to my ramblings and madness and stuff, which was fun. But yeah, so if you like this little stream, tune in probably next week, maybe, if I got another one in me. I got like 3 things that I could do probably in the same stream, but I don't want to, because the stream would be like 7 hours, and I like to take my time, as you see. It took me like 2 hours ish to do this. So yeah. So let's see. Anything else I gotta say? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So like the video. If you made it this far and you're rewatching the stream, thank you so much. Thank you for enjoying the content. Voice crack. And yeah, with all that being said,